I'm Tara Kopp, a national security correspondent for the Associated Press, reporting from the Pentagon. After days of speculation and expectation that the White House would be doing this, the Biden administration announced on Friday that it would be providing cluster munitions to Ukraine. Cluster munition is a controversial weapon that more than 120 countries have agreed to ban because the munition itself, once it lands on the ground, releases little bomblets that some of them don't explode and can kill or maim children or adults, farmers, civilians, years after a conflict has ended. Russia has been using its own type of cluster munition, and the US has been emphasizing that the munitions that it will provide have a much lower dud rate, that explosive rate that I was talking about, than Russia's do, which may be leaving unexploded munitions all over the Ukrainian battlefield. The dud rate for the munitions that the US will be providing is expected to be less than 2.35%. That means there'll still be unexploded munitions on the Ukrainian battlefield for years to come, likely. But as a provision for providing these weapons, Ukraine has promised not only to track where it's been using them, but to not fire them in densely populated urban areas. You could see today the hesitancy by the Biden administration to provide these weapons. Even today, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said that they, had hesitated for months on providing these weapons, on making this decision because of the controversy surrounding their use. Other allies have already come forward saying, they're not comfortable with the situation, but they understand the U.S. position. At a Pentagon briefing today, the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, Colin Kahl, told us that one of the main reasons that the munition is going to be used now and be provided now is because Ukraine has been fighting a really tough, entrenched battle. And the idea behind having these cluster munitions is not only that it will give them another weapon in their arsenal, but could give them an effective weapon that, when fired, not only hits a single target, but hits multiple targets in the vicinity, and may be able to give Ukraine a little bit of an edge in this battle it's waging. Another point that's important for the U.S. that Call told us today about at the Pentagon is that for months we've been hearing about how this conflict has just really taken an impact on U.S. stockpiles of 155 millimeter rounds. They're munitions that are put into howitzers. The Army uses them. They are basically the munition of choice for a land battle because of their range. And Ukraine has been firing thousands of them a day. The U.S. has already provided 2 million of these rounds, and the stockpiles are limited. So giving them a variant, this cluster munition, is also seen as a way to protect those weapons stockpiles.